privilege of sampling the Golden Jubilee edition of the limited edition spice rum from the Grenada distillers, and I must say it's something that you should try. It is authentically Grenadian, but from the flavors to the aromas to the overall taste, the blend is great. It's light, it's golden like the Golden Jubilee, and I think you can make any collector's shelves anywhere in the world. Hats off to the Grenada distillers.
Initially said that you thought the Supreme Court would have a difficult time. Your quote that I looked up today was avoiding the consequence of the plain language of the 14th Amendment. It was obviously a 9-0 call today. So I wonder, what you made of this ruling and if you feel differently now.
But I'm certainly not here to talk about the 14th Amendment, the U.S. Constitution, the Supreme Court, Donald Trump, nothing like that. In fact, I'm more interested in finding out what's happening in the Caribbean. I'm more interested in telling you what's happening in the Caribbean. In fact, I want to invite you to Grenada. And when you get there, you have to be a part of the Riders e-bike excursions and tours. Now, every Sunday, we take you out on a trail inside of Grenada. Best opportunity to see the interior of the island. But if you don't want to get that adventurous and you want to go on your own thing, you could walk into the Esplanade Mall, nice mall, as soon as you get off the cruise ship in St. George, and rent an e-bike. And you could ride around the tongue of St. George for the entire day. Low price, great price, excellent fare. Now, this is more important than any 14th Amendment, guys. I'm telling you. When you come to Grenada, you check out Riders e-bike excursions and tours. Yeah, Riders e-bike excursions and tours. Even if you stayed in the hotel, we'll get you your e-bike. So you could go to the beach or night out, whatever it is. Check us out inside the Esplanade Mall. You could even call us at 473-422-1011. That's 473-422-1011. Riders e-bike excursions and tours. Get with the program. 14th Amendment, Donald Trump. I just don't want to talk about that.
Everybody got the gloves? All right. Yeah. Ride along live. Welcome to the ride. Welcome to Tuesday on the ride. Yeah. As you're coming, guys, go up and share up the thing, Today, Tuesday, you know what we do on Tuesday, right? Tuesday is all about what is pissing you off. What is pissing you off? There are so many things that I've seen, so many posts that I've read today, and I know a lot of people have some stuff on their chests. They want to cogitate a little bit. They want to cough it up. So if there's something that's pissing you off right now, guys, and I'm sure you had enough opportunity to write that down. You want to hear it? I got a couple of things that's pissing me off really bad for the day, for the week actually. So we're going to talk. Jackie Titan, how you doing? Jay, how you doing? Leisha, Dana, Britton, how you doing? Maria, everybody share. Share. And today, guys, I have a special guest. Cam Jones is here. Yeah, Cam is here, guys. Cam is here. Listen, we ain't wasting no time. We're going straight into the thing. We're still in Grenada. And listen, a lot to talk about. Let's bring on the program right now. He really seriously don't need no introduction. He's a whole media platform all by himself. The whole platform is Cam Jones. You don't need, you the man. People say, you run things. How you doing, Cam?
I'm fine, thanks, Junior. And, it's always a pleasure to come on your platform and have a conversation.
Yeah, man. So we go do that tonight. We go do that tonight, man. There are so many things that people are talking about, Cam. They're from crime to politics to sexual assault to journalists. So much. Hopefully we get to everything tonight, Cam. We might need 2 shows, but who knows? Hopefully we get to everything tonight. So how you been? You been good? Behaving yourself?
Yeah, I was in Carriacou while you were up there. I went to the funeral of Paul Alexander, very good friend. his family very close with me, and that funeral was well attended. And you had your excursion up there, and so many people were talking about it. I know you went on to PT Martinique also.
Yeah.
That trail must have been very exciting.
Oh man.
Uh, but by and large, I think things are pretty okay. Pretty okay. While we were up there, you know, Carriacou suffered immensely. I
Yeah.
mean, we heard about uh, the child or the school child, I think Esther, 14, 13, 14, thereabout. And really, really sad. Really, really sad. And I know we'll talk a little about that. And then the drowning incident of the two visitors on the far end of Paradise Beach. That again was really shocking, right? Because it's pretty safe. That particular beach is really safe. They have lifeguards there throughout, but that particular end is a rough end, and I know they would address it as they move forward. But the response from the police, the response from the ministries or the different departments within Carriacou and PT Martinique, the whole ministry and so on, it was really good. The MP, the Honorable Tevin Andrews, I mean, he was there throughout because, family members of the two were actually on the beach too.
Yeah.
So it was really, really good. And then there's this missing person at sea. I think he's about 62 years from Bogle, somewhere thereabout, Carriacou. So, I mean, Carriacou has had for the last couple of days, its fair share of some will say that it's fair share of a lot of tragedy. It's not that the people in Carriacou did anything wrong, but we live in a real world. Things do happen, but I really want to applaud them for their response and what they have been doing to console, to empathize, to be there for the family of Esther, the young 14-year-old who died, who was actually murdered,
Murdered. Yeah.
right? And everybody else, that is how community need to live. Yes, we know tragedy will happen, things will happen, but just being there for them, standing up with them, the families who are grieving, mourning, it's not easy. But Carriacou, I think, is a good example. And also their social media presence and posts.
Yeah.
That too, I think, should be a good learning curve for Grenadians.
Yeah.
Those things happen in Carriacou, but they were not, talking bad about the island.
True.
I mean, it's our island too, but I'm talking about the natives, the people who live there. They were not posting all kind of negative stuff about Carriacou, right? Um, they were more in sympathy
Yeah.
and empathy with the family,
Yeah.
and also working with the police.
Yeah. Well, Carriacou say, well, everybody, the Kakabawi.
Kakabawi for Kakabawi, yes.
Yeah. So they stay
Yes,
together.
yes.
They stay together. Yeah.
It was just different though, the feel, because in fact, people were asking what happened, right? What took place there? Because you couldn't go on social media and to see people bashing or posting all kinds of stuff.
Right.
In fact, I saw a piece from a journalist or reporter from Grenada while I was up there, and it was misleading. I think the Prime Minister spoke briefly about it. Many people in the press, they want to put out stuff first, not even getting the facts, not even getting the real information as to what happened, the real situation before publishing. Because people thought, well, something happened with these two visitors or tourists, something dramatic, meaning that somebody may have done them something like that. Why both of them could just drop down, that kind of thing.
Right.
Not understanding that it was actually a drowning incident or accident. And if you husband struggling to swim, to get on shore, to hold on to something, the wife will go in to see what she could do to save her husband.
Yeah.
That's kind of natural, right? Even if it's your kid, even if it's your child, you do the same thing. It's a natural feel. But at the end of the day, I really want to commend the people of Carriacou and the PT Martinique. They were not quick to judge. They were not quick to post all kind of negative stuff about Carriacou. In fact, after we saw folks showing the monster who did that to young Esther, right? And I have no problem with that. People
Yeah.
need to see, because while they were showing Esther's beautiful face and the things that she was actually involved in the schools and so on, they were hiding the monster. So I was really happy when they revealed the face of the monster who did that to her.
Yeah.
And that was just about it. Nothing about coming down on Carriacou, beating up on Carriacou, accusing this minister, accusing this senator, accusing this person. Because that is what we saw in Grenada. When things happen here, it's all politics. It's all seeing how you can score some cheap
Political point.
political points and so on. But
Right.
Junior, only a while ago, just before I came on, I looked on Facebook and I saw that article, right, by Now Grenada, and I was like, okay. I listened to the press conference with our beloved Prime Minister today, and I think that journalists is misrepresenting the truth of what our beloved Prime Minister said at that press conference regarding taking responsibility. I think he was asked about taking personal responsibility. And I think he used words to the effect, well, look, we all are responsible as a country, as a society, and we will take responsibility and we will shake ourselves off that place where we are at, and improve the
Right.
family. We need to work on the families, the family setting, and we're talking about every family in Grenada. We have to work within the community, the churches, just name it, right? It's not just saying, well, the police messed up. We're going to work to improve the situation
Right.
with the police, because we all agree there were problems. The police
Situation.
dropped the ball, and I said it openly that
Yeah.
they messed up, but there's a need to improve as we move forward. But he
Right.
was actually saying, but if you want to say that I am responsible for what happened at the police station, then that's not the case. The Prime Minister is not responsible for 3 men escaping police custody and going hijacking a yacht and doing whatever happened between Grenada and St. Vincent. But that journalist, I don't know if you saw it.
I think I saw.
The headline. Let me see, because I just cite the thing there, and I was like, Linda Straker got this thing wrong, but I'm not surprised.
Right. Ken,
Right? I'm not surprised.
before we go deeper into the announcement and pronouncement that was made today, one of the things that I could even see that even pissed off the Prime Minister. He's always calm and reserved, but he seemed to be upset to the fact that a lot of people was calling for him to make comments during the processing time of the investigation in the early stages and before the police commissioner came out and speak, and right in the immediate time of that, right? A lot of people was angry and agitated that he did not speak. A lot of people was pissed off that he didn't speak. Do you think that he was better served speaking now at this point in time of the investigation, or he, as some people might have said, that he lost some points because he didn't speak at that point in time? What's your thoughts?
Well, based on the press conference today, I would tell you that the Prime Minister scored very high from even people who would be against him, right? Because what he did was to wait on the facts. You cannot just quickly come out and start judging or saying stuff without the facts. We are accustomed to having a Prime Minister who is quick to say things and, throw things out there. But our Prime Minister was very clever enough to gather all the facts, all the information. And he came out there very, very strong today. In fact, he made the acting commissioner of police and the assistant superintendent, no, the assistant commissioner of police looked very, very good compared to the last press conference or that first press conference they had. Because I was not pleased, and I'm telling you, I am pro-government, and I was not pleased with the first press conference. It
Right.
was really, 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 poorly done. The
Yeah.
presentations and everything. It was just not the kind of press conference when you have something like that with international attention, international press, and everybody looking at you. It was not done properly. The responses and everything like that. But today, with our beloved Prime Minister having that press conference with the acting commissioner of police and the assistant commissioner of police, I think they did a fantastic job and they came out looking better. And I'm certain they were feeling better, right? Because our prime minister is quite intelligent and able to handle situations like these. You realize that he's well researched, he's well versed, and he's a lawyer. For God's sake, he's a lawyer. He's able to put this thing out there in such a way that he understands the thing. He spoke clearly on the need for all of us to help fix this, improve this, make the thing better and going forward. It happened already. Things do happen. But how do we focus on the family in different communities? How do we see the church role? And will the church now play a greater role, right? Will community groups and so on play a greater role? Will the schools play a greater role in the community? So I think he did a fantastic job. His timing was bang on target. And look, the opposition forces will always talk. He comes out and speak early, they will criticize him. He comes out and speak after getting the facts, they will still criticize him. But I think he's focused. He understands clearly the mission, and he's keeping to it. Because the feedback from great many people, Junior, if you follow social media, and we follow social media, you'll
Yeah.
realize it's some very positive feedback from people.
Yeah, I got guys, this is what's pissing me off, what's pissing you off in particular. And first we're looking at the politics end of things, and there might be other things within that you want to talk about, but we kind of go into the politics in the politics gear right now, first gear. Let's hear your feedback, guys. You could call in right now, 718-701-5720, and tell us about, in terms of politics, is there anything in particular that is really pissing you off? Now, a lot of people are angered. I remember last week we were speaking and people called, and even some supporters of the administration was saying, nah, they wanted to hear the PM speak. Do you think that he did justice to the situation by coming out now and saying what he said? A lot of people saying that is the timing right now was an impeccable timing, because of course he waited. It was not a knee-jerk reaction to just say something or comment on something at the point in time when it happened. He went to the investigation and he came out and made solid statement, and they believe that was the right and appropriate time. That being said, there are still criticizers of the move. Let's open up the phone line. Let's have a conversation. What are your thoughts about the statements made today? And does that change anything in your perspective from what you was expecting last week? We keep a very open mind, an open conversation on these things. Phone lines are open, 718-701-5720. And of course, Cam Jones is our guest here today. Cam, still in the political vein and in that particular press conference, was there anything else that pissed you off that you did not like?
Well, I wouldn't say I was pissed off, but for me, if I am a journalist, I should not come with an agenda. In other words, I should come as a professional to ask professional questions, right?
Right.
Questions that would lead the public to understanding more, to knowing more. I will not go in a press conference for 2 hours or just above 2 hours and then go and publish an article with the headline, National Security Minister Not Taking Responsibility for Prisoners Escaping Custody. I will not do that. So Linda Straker did this piece, and one wonders what is her objective behind all of this, right? And look, Junior, I often say openly, I know nearly everybody in Grenada. And I know some of them, their political affiliation and they click.
Right.
But I think a journalist should be responsible enough to print facts. Don't go out there and put things out there giving people the impression that the prime minister is saying, well, I'm not responsible for this. That was not what was said. And I just wish you had that little piece, right, to play for the viewers and listeners, just that little piece. When he was asked about responsibility, and I think she was the one who asked that question.
Let me see if I could pull that part up.
It would be really nice because her publication, just the headline, is something that pissing me off. It's coming to the end where they open up for questioning and so on.
Yeah.
Right. And
I'm gonna look for it, Kim. While I look for it, let's take a call. Caller, live. Where are you calling us from?
Junior.
Hi, caller. How you doing?
This is Emily. I'm calling from New York. Hi, Kim. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. And you?
Kim, I'll start off with you. I'll try to be short. They have political agenda, and we have to look at the people who have positive, and we have people who have negative. Now, I watched the whole thing live, and I watched the repeat. Let's give the good first. I am so proud of this man that we call Honorable Dickon Mitchell. Sir, you did an excellent job. You were on point. You answered all the questions. You kept your balance. You had the right tone. And I am saying, you're so intelligent. When something happens, we react. And yes, everybody was saying, oh, why didn't he speak? Now he speak. People are going to say he came out too long. Why he didn't speak before? People are going to find, I'm waiting for Thursday evening, 4 o'clock, somebody with some big hair going to start talking nonsense about he lied and he said this with a whole long paper in their hand, and they're going to be reading a pile of nonsense. Listen to me. We heard everything we needed to hear today, and I am so proud. We are so proud, and we want 5 more years, and 10 more years, and 15 more years, and 20 more years. And I have to ask one question, Linda Straker, what is wrong with you? You're losing your mind because I listened to you ask the Prime Minister what you asked him, and I started to write a comment. I said, Emily, hold your horses, pull it back, because I'm out there already. Woman, when you go into this press conference, know what you're going to ask. If you don't know what to ask, keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm going to end it.
Let me say this.
We are proud.
Let me say this before we go any further. I don't want to make this. I don't necessarily want to make. Hold on. I don't want to make this a bash any journalist segment. Personally, my take on journalists and the question, although we may disagree with the approach and the question, at the same time, I believe that the journalists are there to ask questions. They may have agendas. You might say they do or they don't have agendas. But at the same time, I don't want to open up this forum for a bash journalist segment. I really don't want to have that conversation. All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Thank you. 718-701-5720. Okay. So I'm saying specifically, and I'll say here, your point is taken, and I completely understand your take on it. But I don't want to criticize someone for asking a question, because sometimes I may have a question that people may not particularly like either, and it's not coming from a place of me just trying to find out. So I just wanted to put that out there. I hope you understand.
Yeah. But for me, Junior, I think the facts need to be laid on the table. Hence the reason I ask that you find that piece of clip or
Right.
just that question
Yeah.
and let the people hear, because here you have a journalist who is publishing stuff, and when you read the headlines that in that particular article, it comes across as though that person intends to mislead.
Right.
So I'm saying put the facts on the table,
Right.
because that is exactly what's pissing me off.
Let me see if I could get a clip from this point right here. Let me see if I could turn that up, get an audio.
So I think that question might be better answered from the Director of Public Prosecution.
That you might also be,
Right,
I
that's
don't
Cali,
think that
that's Cali,
discussions
yeah?
do not take place
Right, okay.
between
So
DPP's office and.
Personal physical safety starts with us. And so the ICT department and the cybersecurity unit, they literally spend their time hacking into.
I'm gauging.
systems.
So
And so we have to appreciate that there are hundreds of thousands of
point
people.
or part. So bear with me as I try to get that part. I didn't cue it up prior to the program. But point well taken, Kim. I understand that and your point of view. It seems as the information was not what seemed to bring across a certain narrative.
Of
Right.
course, it's like to create drama and to create confusion in the minds of Grenadians, when the Prime Minister did not say what the headline of this particular article is saying.
Right.
I just wish I had
Committed to enjoy the retirement.
for me. It's about 10 minutes mark. Let me see. Junior, it's around 1 hour and 10 minutes mark.
1 hour 10 minutes. All right. Hold
That
on.
is what, yeah.
Okay. All
Not
right.
too
1 hour
far.
10 minutes mark. Let me pull it up from right there. 1 hour 10 minutes mark. All right. I'm at that point.
Good morning, Nakita Wells with WPG 10.
Then at 1 hour 10 minutes.
Come forward for obvious reasons. But certainly the community policing aspect is one of the key.
All right. If anybody could give me a better gauge of that particular clip, I'll attempt to.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be good. Because I think it's around there. I think she was the first or second. I think after her, just around there,
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
See one.
Particular to make sure that we have embedded
Yeah,
ourselves.
where the Prime
And you
Minister
spoke
to that.
particularly
That's
to
so important that people get.
All I would want to add is that
Right. So if anyone could give me a specific point of reference.
All right. So somebody's saying go to the 15 minutes mark. So 1 hour 15 minutes thereabout.
1 hour 15 minutes. Okay, let me try to get that at 1 hour 15 minutes mark and put it up. Again, guys, you're watching Ride Along Live. I did not cue that particular clip up, but I'm searching through for it. Okay, we got 1 hour 15 minutes right.
Because in effect, he's been surrounded by criminality at a very early age. Right? And that really is the crux of what we have to address. The initiative that can address crime, it's a multifaceted issue. So if we take, for example, parenting.
All right.
And I will highlight that because I'll give an example. If
all right, I'm at the 1 hour 15 minute mark and it's not there. So we're going to try to let's go back a little. Go back a little. This program seems like if it's all right. Let me see this point right here.
their needs.
Okay, we're gonna find it. We're gonna get a precise mark. So let's talk about other things, Kim. Let's talk about other things. There have been reports of crime, right? In last week. Last week we saw the three idiots that escaped from lawful custody at the South St. George police station. They jump a boat. Heaven's sake, I don't understand this. They allegedly killed 2 individuals on the boat and they docked the boat in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I think that is so stupid. And that's pissing me off because you're making Grenadians and Grenada look bad on the world map. Now, first of all, you escape lawful custody. Keep yourself quiet. You jump a boat and you head to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, all the way up to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and you dock the boat. What you expect? You'll get caught. And this whole thing making Grenadian look stupid, making Grenadian look as if they don't have no kind of sense. And in addition, it making the whole country, because now they're alleged to have killed 2 individuals on that boat. But here is what's pissing me off even more, Kim. There are people who are making it seem as if this is because the story is that 2 Americans were killed, it's somehow bigger than if a local Grenadian is shot or a local person is stabbed or a local person die. Because it's an American, super American citizen, yes, it's important. International media will pick it up, but that doesn't mean, or that doesn't make it a bigger issue. It's still someone losing their life. So let's focus on someone losing their life first, right? And don't feel like because they're Americans, then we should pay more attention to the conversation than Esther Patterson, who died in Carriacou. And that, I think, was articulated in the Prime Minister's statement today. And I think it was wise that he made that statement. And you don't have to inject politics into everything. What's your take, Kem?
No, I think he was bang on target because, look, Junior, you know what I did when that took place? Because people were actually posting all kinds of stuff and saying all kinds of stuff about Grenada. And what I did, I went to St. Lucia and I checked the homicide numbers there, you know, the amount of murders there. I checked Jamaica, I checked Trinidad, I checked St. Vincent, you know, all the islands. And you know, Grenada was at number 2, right? Yeah, number 1 or number 2, I think so. Somewhere, I think number 1. We were still in either 1 or 2. And the other islands, they were in double figures, right? And you look at the amount of gun violence, the amount of rape and all this thing, because they have the statistics online, huh?
Right.
And you see, but wait, Grenada is a very, very peaceful place. Grenada is a very, very peaceful place. Things do happen.
Yeah.
Right. And it's kind of isolated because you don't hear those things often. And I stated also that every life is equal. Don't matter where you are from. Even if you're an American, a Grenadian, let's say you're from South Africa, wherever you are from, your life is equally important to anybody else. And if someone dies or some murder takes place, we will be saddened. And we will ask questions and do some soul searching.
Yes.
But we will not go about trying to, damage the image of Grenada, our country. No. And that is why I insist that there is a need for a rethink. We post things too quickly. We don't understand the implications, the medium to long term. Once you post that thing up there, some people don't know everything. They just read that and they run with it. And they believe that Grenada is this place where these things happen often, but that's not the case. I think the Prime Minister was absolutely right. These things don't happen often in Grenada. They don't. And we need to be proud of the fact that our people are still loving, warm, kind, peaceful, helpful, and that is maintained. Grenada is a nice place, a good place to be, and it's not a crime-infested place like some people want you to believe. Look at Barbados. The amount of crimes are happening in Barbados, they don't run and publish stuff or say all manner of stuff about Barbados. They understand the big picture because they know that they depend on tourism, right? So they manage what they put out. And that is why I stated, let us use Carriacou as a good example of how they manage the publication and the posting and the this about what took place up there. Yes, we know they're saddened. Yes, we know they stood by the families. They had candlelight vigil. They had a number of things. They visited the homes and so on of family members, trying to console, trying to, keep them at least, at a particular place where they would not go off, so to speak. But come on, they managed the thing well. And we need to do the same thing. I think the Prime Minister is absolutely right. We need to understand that Grenada is still one of the safest places in the world to live, to grow. And watch me, Junior. It's not that they're making Grenadians feel or look bad. No, they're making themselves look bad. Because here it is. At the end of the day, Grenada will survive. We will survive this. Grenadians are resilient people. This place we have gone through a lot and still bounce back. So I am saying if we pull together and we understand what really occurred, what took place. And I love when the Prime Minister said, these young men came from homes. These young men came from schools. These young men came from communities.
Yeah.
They came from among us. The question we have to ask ourselves, where did we go wrong
Yeah.
as a community,
True.
as a church, as a school, as parents, right? What did we do wrong here to cause them to, because you could escape,
Yeah.
but to cause them to do that,
Right.
this gruesome, alleged killing and so on. This is not what caused them to do that. And first and foremost, they were actually there for raping.
Yeah.
I think a number of raping incidents and so on and so forth. This thing is not easy. We have to go back on the drawing board, around the drawing board, and start to look and see where did we go wrong? How can we prevent that from happening to another family or to another 3 or 4 young men? I had a program and I said, but wait, when 6 o'clock, Junior, you see what you want. Your mother will call your sisters indoors. They will be doing their homework. They will be preparing supper, washing the wares, cleaning or making up this in the house. So they're safe. But Junior will be outside still playing basketball and football. Your other brother might be by the block or somewhere.
Right.
But the girls are taken care of, taken away from certain environments. What's about the boys? Are we failing the boys? Are we not doing enough for them? I mean, yes, in the 50s and the the 60s and the 40s and so on, you hear things like it's a man's world, or
Yeah.
it was like it's a man's world.
Right.
So women were not given the kind of assistance and support and the kind of footing within society. But now you see a situation where our boys are left behind totally.
Right.
Totally. You look at graduating classes, who graduating from pre-primary, go all the way up, talking about, all up to university. Girls, women, they're the ones dominating. We're the boys.
Yeah. Yeah. You know,
we have a lot to do.
one of the things that I saw when I looked through the rap sheet of these young men, one of the things that was very clear to me is that all of them were unemployed. All of them was unemployed from Paradise. And that had to speak to a lot of things. Now, if those young men were employed, they had something to do. They had a responsibility to get up, make up their bed, and go to, right? Would they fall victim to the situation that they're in? They probably would have been in a job, finding some kind of thing, they would be productive citizens. Because they're unproductive, they're not working nowhere, they have nothing. Their day consists of trying to scheme or trying to do this or trying to do this. They're alleged for rape, robbery, and all this stuff.
And
So,
it came across also, Junior, as though they were repeat offenders, 1 or 2 of them.
yes.
Actually did things in the past and pretty much accustomed to that kind of environment. I don't know if they were dropouts though.
I spoke to a young lady who, one of the person that alleged that she was gang raped by some of the men, right? And it's a sad thing. Let's go to the phone lines, Kim. Caller live, where you calling us from? Caller hung up. Yeah. So I spoke to a young lady who called. She was one of the victims who were allegedly gang raped by these young men. What is society? What do we have to look at as a society to help fix this problem? Yes, we could arrest those guys. We could put them in jail for life. We could lock them up and throw away the key. But how do we prevent the cultivation of another set of young men like these young men? Employment, responsibility, community centers, mentorship, even programs like what we have here, Kim, the ability to speak and talk into the lives of people and provide opportunities and help them to navigate through. I think it's also important because to whom much is given, much is expected. And they probably feel like they're not given anything and they don't have anything to live for. They don't have a damn job. So the social society, they feel probably failed them. how do we not cultivate? How do we prevent the cultivation of another one of these men in our society? Is the big question that we need to ask as well.
Yeah, I agree with that. But you know, Junior, I spoke to a contractor, and he said to me, he can't find anybody to work.
True.
He has projects to start, but you're looking for helpers, you're looking for masons, you're looking for carpenters. He can't find anybody to do that. So I would say that there are a lot of young people who don't want to work.
Yeah.
Period. They just don't want to work. Opportunities are available, and they just don't want to take advantage of it. I mean, definitely that is not really the main reason why they did all of this.
No, we're not
Right?
saying yes. True.
But it can play a role. Of course, it can play a role. But there are a lot of job opportunities out there for young men in Grenada,
Yeah.
and they're not taking advantage of that. I give you a typical example. A gentleman put out a bulletin for, I think, 3 or 4 people that he wanted. And he said, out of the people who called and who inquired, 90% were actually women. And it was a man's, well, a typically, or what do I say? It's kind of historically a man's kind of job.
Right.
I mean, everybody doing everything nowadays, huh?
Yeah.
But it's kind of more male driven. They're the ones who normally do that kind of work. But the women are inquiring. They
Yeah.
want to find out. Will you employ me? They want work because they have to take care of their children. They have to pay bills. They don't want to be begging people to meet commitments. But are the men doing the same thing? Are they inquiring? Are they following up? Are they looking
Right.
for work? Not only that, Junior, just look at the young men in schools in particular. You have the women or the young ladies, they're getting the opportunity to do 10 CXCs and 11 and 12. They go on to do A levels and then university. The young men, many of them are not even eager to go on to college, even if tuition is free. The government making it free. It's free.
Right.
But the young women, they are taking advantage of that. So, boy, sometimes you could bring somebody by the well, but to make them drink, it ain't easier.
True.
It's tough.
True.
And the situation here is bigger than just them not working or the school failing them, or it's a lot. We have to look at even the circles, the people around them, the young people around them, because it could be that you have more like them within that particular place, community. How can we prevent that from happening again? Because don't believe it's just these 3 and that's it. No, you would have more in different communities. How can we use them in terms of identifying certain character traits, certain things that they did, the situations that they were in, to help other young men not to go down that same road? How can we do that? It's so important, because I cannot fathom how you could escape from police custody or police lawful custody or whatever they call it, and then you go and do that kind of crime. But I still cannot understand how you could go and rape women, and not just once, but a number of times, from what I understand.
Yeah.
Right? And it seems as though they have a chronic problem. And then you placed in a cell and you escape, and you're going to do something even either
Worse.
equally or worse.
Yeah.
Because I don't really know what transpired between here and St. Vincent, but we can fairly say even worse.
Yeah.
While we don't want to grade the crime and so on or rate it, they're all bad, all terrible, but something not right. Something not right. We need to start looking at our young men in the communities and so on. How can we help them? How can we get them to take their energies and maybe put it into football, maybe basketball, maybe playing draft or chess, maybe netball, maybe something there, maybe some night class, something like that, learning an extra skill. Because, before, that was the order of the day.
Yeah.
You work during the daytime, but when the nighttime comes, you could go and learn something. And if you're not working, you could still go and learn something, so you're always occupied. Something has to happen. I'm happy that the government is working hard on getting the community centers back up and running. That is really remarkable.
That's important.
That's really good. You
Yeah.
have quite a number of community centers that have been refurbished in recent times. You have quite a number of playing fields that are now back in use. I can give you one straight off the bat. Laura playing field, right? And then you see some of the playing fields being, they installing lights in some of the playing fields and tennis courts and basketball courts and so on. That's a good thing.
Yes.
We may not see the benefit now, but between, I always say it's not just short term, the medium to long term down the road, we would see, or we would realize the benefits.
Sure.
Because our young men in particular, they would love to, instead of staying on the block in the nighttime, they would love to go and sweat on the court or sweat on the field. And I loved when the Honorable Andy Williams said, look, just allow them access night or day to the facilities.
Yeah.
Let them go there and train. Let them go and sweat. Let them go and do something, right? And I think Grenada would be a better place. It's a lot of work. And we need to see more of the leaders within the community, Junior.
Yes.
Stepping up, identifying certain things and pulling certain young men in particular. Because we, in the prison right now, Junior, about 4 women we have over there now.
Yeah. Yeah. I went to visit.
374 men.
Yeah.
3 something men, 4 women. I look, because where I live, I'm on the main, and the prison, they have a farm in Mardi Gras, the higher part of Mardi Gras. So they go up there pretty much every morning. And a whole van load of men, young men in their 20s and 30s and early 40s in the most productive time of their life in jail. And when they go out, they go back in. You understand the point?
Yeah.
I am saying that the leaders within our communities, they have to do more. What kind of program you have in place? So every day or every Sunday, people go to church. They come to church. The young, middle-aged, and so on, they go to church with you. You preach the gospel, Junior. You talk and you say what you have to. Then they go back. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you have nothing to tell them. You don't know what they're doing. You don't know where they're going. You have no program. You have nothing for them. But Sunday, you want them to come to church.
Right.
I am saying church leaders need to start thinking about having programs during the week to help guide particularly young men. I mean, women can be there, but the men are at risk right now.
Right.
And then you have community centers. You have community-based groups, sports groups, and so on. Just going in a community center, Junior, and talking about something. Talking about manhood, talking about responsibility, talking about sexuality, talking about job opportunities.
Yeah.
Having a discussion about that simple stuff. Just spending a 30 minutes or a 40 minutes together, Junior, just laughing, talking about things. That can cause a lot of young people not to be involved in violence.
True.
Yeah, we want to see more of that in the community. If we start in the community, and there are people who can red flag certain things, red flag certain things with certain young men and certain families, they could identify it early o'clock, say, nah, boy, they need some kind of assistance. They need some kind of, intervention. We need to help them. We need to work with them, that family. Because the first one will end up in jail, second one will end up in jail, third one will end up in jail. We have to work on them now. They could identify those things. There are people who are experts identifying those things before the community. That is where the thing starts. They're young people, they go to school, they're bright, But boy, they meet up certain friends, Junior, and they start doing certain things, look out. And they just start behaving badly. We have to do more in the community to help our young men. We need to do more. I think our young men are at risk, and a lot need to go into helping them. I don't know where we can start, but we need to start somewhere. You talk about mentorship.
Yeah.
Right? How do we, say, boy, in my little village, we have 50 young men. How can we get 50 grown-up men with good character, with, responsibility, respectful, and so on? How we can get them to adopt one or hold one under the wing to guide them and to speak to them and to, mold them and to, you understand? But how can we do that?
Well, they said that the Prime Minister said in the speech today that it starts with community, and there are a list of people who are trained in dealing with the problems. These
I
type of
think they are mediators.
mediators. No, that's important, Kim.
Yes.
Because a lot of times in these communities, what you find is that there's an altercation between sometimes neighbors and friends and family, and then someone pull a cutlass. And sometimes they chop their cousin, they're having a fight. But if they're able to mediate, sit down and mediate, it might be something as simple as a misunderstanding. You misunderstand what I said, or you thought someone told you something that it was not true, and you're vexed and you're flaring up and you're upset. You want to pull cutlass at your neighbor, at your friend, at your family member. So mediation in communities are very, 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 very important. And that's where it starts. Because
as if they mediate, you may not even end up in police hands.
He ain't going up in police hands.
Yeah.
Very rare occasion, you see someone from Grenville, leave Grenville, and come and chop somebody in South St. George that they don't even know. Very rare occasion. You see this kind of activities in the neighborhood, friends that have misunderstanding. So mediation in the community, that's when I heard that, I was like, yeah, that is something that I want to definitely support and get behind, however way I can get behind and support.
In other words, it should not just be when you go to court and you have some civil matter or some matter like that to settle something that you go before mediators and have them settle the matter. It should be a situation whereby before the thing reach the community, we should settle it there. We should work out the thing in the community. And I totally agree with you. And I totally agree with the Prime Minister. Let them be in the community where they can mediate. And if people know that they can go to that person, to speak to that person, to speak to the other person, if there are conflict, if there are some issue, I think things will be better within the community. We have to start somewhere. And someone told me that the night classes during the revolution served to keep down a lot of crime from happening, because people were occupied. You had to go and learn to read and learn to write. You had to go and learn some kind of trade. You had to go and learn to sew, to knit, to you had to do something. You had to be occupied. And once you're occupied, there is very little space for you to go and do anything stupid.
Right, true.
So I think there is a need. And once, you see, the government is on the right path in terms of bringing back the community centers, because some community centers, they're like churches now, You go into communities and you can't even find a community center, because the church take it over. Some church take it over and they have in a church there and you have to go and ask them to use it. No, the church should build somewhere for the church and leave the community center for the community. I have no problem with you having a event there one-off, but to make it your home, that's a problem.
Right.
So having that refurbished now, and there are some community centers that people take as though it's their home, that the government is moving swiftly to get that back and have it repaired and upgraded so that the community can use it. And I think they need to have it being utilized always. You should always know by every night something happening there.
Right.
You have something. If tonight a home and a feeling bored, I could go by the pan house. For example, I give you my situation. I am here and I'm feeling bored. I know I can go walk from where I am and go down by the St. Paul's Community Center there. And no matter what night, they will be playing pan there. They will be practicing. They will be teaching people about pan right inside there. I am talking about something like that. That for certain, tonight, boy, they have some drama. You could go and learn about drama, about maybe poetry, about, learning to solve conflict resolution, maybe how to cook, how to make a pie. Young men, for example, they would love to go into a community center and somebody teaching them how to make a pie, right? The different types of pie, shepherd pie, maybe a lasagna, or maybe bake some cake or some pastry or something as simple as that might be great fun for young men, because a lot of young men who can't cook. I could turn my hand because I come from the countryside. And I'm not saying that people who are in tongue and so on can't do it, but I had to find my way. I had to learn to cook. So I am simply saying, if you have these community centers, and if the churches, sometimes the churches are empty, big buildings empty during the week. They could come up with programs where they invite people to come and learn to cook, come and learn to wash, come and learn to fold your clothes, come and learn to do those things, to make up a bed. In China and those places, they're teaching the young to actually make up a bed properly, or to keep a room clean.
Listen, I've been begging Kim. I've been begging to have some young men who want to become tour guides, because I'm constantly hiring, right? And to your point, I'm not seeing a lot of young men stepping up. I have to beg. And what we
certain women coming.
And women, a whole slew of women coming. I want to mix it up and have that balance. The young men are too lazy. Kim, let's jump to the phone line really quickly. We got a caller on the line. Caller, you live. Where are you calling us from?
Yeah, I'm calling from Miami.
Miami, go right ahead.
Yeah. Hi. You know what really the problem is? 100%, okay, is drugs, which is recreation drugs, you know, and 100% mental illness. 90% is childhood trauma. So I know Kim Jones is blaming the church. The church could just do so much. You understand? It's community that start from the parents, the neighbor, you know, and then they have to have, things in place for these young guys to go learn a trade, you know, which the government fund. Okay? So you can't blame the church. That's all I have to say.
All right, caller. Thank you so much. I don't think anyone is blaming the church. I think we are saying that the community failed, and the church could do a lot more. I think that the church, in particular, and that big building that they have there is a good piece of real estate that could be used to have community activities, not only on Sundays, but throughout the week. It don't need to be closed. It needs to be open for people to come in at whatever given time, whether to get mentorship. That's what I understand from the conversation. But Kem?
Yeah, well, I think we're on par. I want to thank the caller. I think the caller is making a very valuable point that the whole drug use situation and the recreational and there are young men who are among us with mental issues, right?
Yeah.
We cannot run away from that. A friend once told me they're like ticking time bombs.
Yeah.
They walk, but they have problems, they have issues. But where do they go? Who do they speak to? That kind of thing, you see? So I want to thank the caller, and we are not blaming, as Junior rightly said. We are just saying they can play a greater role within the community. All right. And it's not just the church. We're talking about community leaders. We spoke about community leaders too, you know.
Yeah.
We spoke about sports groups and community groups and so on. They could play a pivotal role in shaping and molding and improving the situation with young men in particular, and the young people of the country. For example, Junior, you have people who would come a different time of the year in communities and train young women to do certain things. So they call it summer programs, right? They could do the same thing for men. Men, you could also come and learn to cook. You could also come and learn to wash, to make up bed again, to take care of the home.
You know what some of them go say? Bad man don't cook.
You see the point? You understand the point? And not only that, I saw, as I was telling you, in China and Japan and Singapore, them kind of places, they training the young men to make up the bed, to plait hair and all, to plait the hair of the children. I mean, they're not using it on the children, but mannequin kind of thing. But they're training them because, I mean, there are some men who could really plait hair.
Yeah. Christine Alexis made a real good statement there. In synopsis, part of it said that communities can organize mentorship program, educational workshop, and extracurricular activities to support the youths. They can also establish scholarship funds, create safe spaces for expression and growth and collaborate with with the schools as well. And I think that, it's a longer point that she made there. That's what's on the screen, and I think that that's exactly what needs to happen. Mentorship for this youth, for this young people. That is the key.
That's a very, very good point. I was reading it because it was up for a while, and she's bang on target. We need to work together. So I heard the police today at the press conference, and I think that's the right way to go. The police needs to be involved in community activities. They need to also initiate stuff too. So if there is a sporting event, they need to sponsor too. They need to be visible too. Right? Let the name call. If there is some community event or something like that, they need to be there within the community. And the community will trust them more. People will trust them more. The issue of trust is a big thing between the community and the police.
Yes.
Because the minute time you tell the police something, you may hear it down the road too. Because we all are human beings. And that is the problem. People tend to be, so you can get that trust back again. So they can gather intel, they could get information from the public. I am saying the police, they need to be involved in community activities. And that would really turn things around. You don't need to see the police are just coming and enforce and arrest somebody or coming when there's a conflict and so. No. We want to see the police even before that saying, look, even if you have your differences, you don't need to cuss. You don't need to fight. Let's talk. We could agree. We could disagree on some things, and we could agree on some things. But let's talk. Let's talk it out now. I remember some years ago, there was some training where you create a scenario where the two parties will be, up in arms, boy, vexed and so on, and they're angry. And then somebody will come in and say, but wait, you're a cousin, you're a family members, you're a neighbors, you're a friends. What is the problem here? Let me hear the problem. I mean, it's a scenario. And let's sit down, let's iron it out. Let's check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 before we start to cough, right? Before we grab a cutlass, let us kind of do some push-ups or some weights in your mind. Say, oh God, boy, I'm gonna take a cutlass, I cut off somebody, hand, their finger, their this, their that, and I puncture them for life. So we have to kind of run back them kind of thing,
Yeah.
Teaching people how to deal with conflicts, how to talk the thing out, how to, iron it out without fighting and cussing and cutting and going for gun and so on. And because these days people are filled with rage. Even on the road, you see it every day. On the road, and you say, but one time that person going and pull a gun.
Well, no, it's funny. It's funny you said that, Kim. I have a call on the line, but it's funny you said that because I only know that kind of rage when I'm in New York. So I was driving today and the light changed. And before the light changed, 2 seconds, I was about to move off. This guy behind me, and he's sitting on his horn. I only witnessed that in New York. I need that to be patient people. What is the problem? Anyway, let's jump to the phone. We got a call on the line. We're holding it for a quick bit. Caller, your live, where are you calling us from?
Calling from Grenada.
Yeah, turn your background down a bit, caller. It's giving us a feedback. Turn your background, your TV back.
Sorry, my bad. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
go right ahead.
So it's an interesting topic. And like you said earlier, mentorship. I can remember back in the days, we had something called ART, Agency for Rural Transformation.
Right.
Yes.
I was blessed to be one of the mentors that was trained under that program. Well, it has since dwindled and died away because of lack of funding. Listen, we're dealing with a lot of stressed out people.
Yeah.
Youths as well as adults. And we have a lot of single parent homes in Grenada, which even makes the problem even worse, because just imagine a single mother having 3-4 children to see after, and she doesn't know where the next meal is coming from. She doesn't have a permanent job. And like Rihanna say, all them men just hit and run. And she's now stressed out. Now that stress is passed on to the kids. The kids now have no option to relieve that stress. So what they do, they come to the community and they release it out in the community. We need to get back to our community groups. There was a saying back in the day that, and I think it's dead now. It takes a community to raise a child. I remember back in the days when I used to work for the government back in the days. We had mentorship programs. So each mentor would be given 5 children in a community to work with. So as a mentor, you will be responsible to helping them with their schoolwork. You become like a best friend, a parent outside of the parent. But this thing has gone. It's finished. It's no more.
Right.
We have now, and I mean, I just say it as it is. I give, and that is my opinion, the politicians and the churches the majority of the blame. And let me tell you why.
Carla, you got to kind of hurry up it a little bit because we can.
Okay, yeah. Now, you turn on your television, you turn on your radio, and is the politicians cussing each other. Defamation after defamation. Like Ken rightfully said, all the community centers has been turned into churches. There is no place for the kids in the community to go and recreate and better themselves. They use it for churches, and after they lock it down. Now it is a community center. It's a place for the youths and the people in the area to recreate themselves and better themselves. You used to have sewing classes. You used to have all different kind of classes. Now they turn it into a church and they turn it down. And the only time it opens is either on a Saturday or a Sunday. Come on. Right. Where are we going with this thing? We have to get back to roots. And unless we do that, we're in big problem.
All right. Thank you, caller.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and Junior, a number of people sent me messages saying that if you want to find that question regarding Linda Streaker,
I think I have it.
What, 59 minutes.
Yeah, I think I have it.
You have it?
Yeah, we're going to go back to that. Guys, you're watching Ride Along Live. This is what's pissing you off. Now, I asked the question a little bit earlier, and there were so many comments. Deanne Winterfunde say that she's pissed off that she had to come back to the U.S. Connie said that police and civilians in Grenada should respect each other. Karen said that when is going to go live at the games at the intercall. And I keep stressing and saying, I know this is pissing off a lot of people, but we cannot go live and will not go live at a pay-per-view event, right? The event is being pay-per-view, streamed live by a network, a partner network. We will not disobey that and do anything illegal or against protocol to go live at the event. So as much as even this individual made a post today under a comment under a post that I made, and he went above and beyond himself to say something so stupid. I had to respond to it very strongly as well. Kind of like he's saying, if we can post the video or go live at the video, don't post anything. Dumb comments. Guys, we cannot go live and will not go live at Intercall because it's a pay-per-view event, period. All right?
Yeah, but what I think, Junior, folks can actually, utilize the TV.
Yeah.
You have GBN TV's bringing it, MTV's bringing it. So you can utilize that because I think it's about sponsorship and, the networks making their money and that kind of thing. And you understand the point. So folks have to understand that too. It costs money to put on such a game or to put on these kind of sporting events and the games and so on. It's very expensive. So if a company says, well, look, I would carry it for you, but the people have to pay to view it. I mean, you might get something out of it, meaning the organizers might get something out of it, but generally speaking, the company, it would cost the company some money to bring it. So look, people have to understand it. If you want to see the thing and you're in Grenada, please come, go to the stadium tomorrow, Tuesday, and Wednesday. No, tomorrow is Wednesday.
Thursday.
Right? Both days. You still have 2 days.
Yeah,
Go to the stadium, man,
and
enjoy it. I mean, last year, I tell you, it was really, really, really fiery. It was tense. It was. Remember, I think it was about half point. One of the schools won by.
It was close. I checked it out today.
Yeah, it was very close.
And we'll all right. So on the note, back to the political conversation and the question that was asked, I think I got it queued up at the right spot. Even before we go there again, I got to say this really quickly, that Ridealong Live is brought to you with the kind compliments of Geneva's Cottage, located right here in the Woodlands area. You guys could check it out. It is an amazing place to stay while you're in Grenada. Check out Airbnb, Geneva's Cottage, Geneva Cottage. Also, if you're looking for intercall visors, guys, these are special visors, right? But we are sold out on most of the schools. Right now, we have some from ASJ CSS. We have some generic that just says Intercall 2024. And we have a few more SAS, SAASS. So if you're supporting the schools or you want to support and you don't want to get burned in the sun tomorrow, come down to the Esplanade Mall in our kiosk and buy it. It's only 60 EC. You get one, you protect your face, and you support your school at the same time. Ridealong Live is also brought to you with the kind compliments of Riders e-bike excursions and tours. Guys, this Sunday, we are going to be in St. Andrews, Ride Mount Camel. Inviting you guys to come out and check that out. For booking and more information, we could click that link right here, right there. That's the link. That's a QR code, and we just paste the link in your chat. So you can click that link and book for this Sunday as Riders Ride the Falls to Mount Camel Fall. It will be an amazing event. All right, guys. So we were speaking about it earlier, and I think I got the cue for the spot where Kim was speaking about the question that was asked to the National Security Minister, I believe, and I hope that that is a cue point. Let's listen in to the question.
The two most important ones for now. Thank you.
Prime Minister, in the Westminster-style government, individual ministerial responsibility is a constitutional convention that a cabinet minister bears. The ultimate responsibility for the action of the ministers or the subordinates. As Minister for National Security, are you taking ultimate responsibility for what has happened from the escape of the prisoners to what we see happening now?
I'm not sure I understand your question. Let me reiterate. The police are the ones responsible for the custody of prisoners. If police action leads to the escape of a prisoner or prisoners, the responsibility lies with the police. And I think we've demonstrated that in those circumstances, action will be taken in relation to the police. Ultimately, in a state, and as the Minister for National Security, the fact that I'm here speaking to the issue means that from a public perspective, yes, we accept responsibility for what has happened. But if you're asking me if I accept individual responsibility, obviously the answer is no.
The final question, Linda?
Yeah.
The Prime Minister in his...
Yes. Junior, that's it.
Yes.
In fact, that's it. Right? But, but Junior, you don't need to be a genius to understand what the Prime Minister just said. And then Linda Streaker went ahead, and by now I think you saw the Now Grenada publication.
Yeah.
National Security Minister not taking responsibility for prisoners escaping custody. Right? And then when you go down, you then see Prime Minister National Security Minister Dickon Mitchell said that he will not accept responsibility for the human error in the police force that resulted in the escaping of 3 men from a police station who are now facing capital murder charges after causing the death of 2 American citizens on board a yacht. And you say to yourself, but wait, why publish this though? When you just heard what the Prime Minister said, this thing is common sense. As Minister of National Security, the fact that I'm speaking to the issue means that from a public perspective, yes, we accept responsibility for what happened. But if you ask me if I take personal responsibility, then obviously the answer is no. That, in all that was said, Junior, for 2 hours plus, that is what was published by Linda Streaker. And that is why we have to also ask the question, is the media a part of this whole thing? And how can we have the media become more responsible, understanding that there are people reading and viewing and listening things out there when they say it or when they publish it? Is the media responsible for tarnishing the good name of this country? We have to ask some tough questions, because the pen is mightier than the sword many a times. Come on, 2 hours and something of press conference, and that is what you publish? It can't be just for sensationalism, man. If any primary school child listen to the Prime Minister and what you just played there, Junior, they would conclude that the Prime Minister is saying, look, the police is responsible for the prisoners. They're in their care. The responsibility is theirs. If the prisoner escape, then they are responsible for that, and to make sure that they, get that prisoner, arrest that prisoner, bring them back in, right? Also, the Prime Minister is saying, well, as a public, we take full responsibility, right? We. But personally, the Prime Minister is not responsible for some prisoner escaping. So, in other words, if somebody box you, you go say the Prime Minister is responsible for it. Or if you have some kind of altercation because it's national security in your house, you might say, well, the Prime Minister is responsible for it. It's just ridiculous. But I thought I should make that point, because you see, people would read this thing and believe that the Prime Minister is not taking responsibility for national security in the country. Because I think that is the objective, in my belief, that particular writer wants to put out there, in my belief.
All right. Kola, it's what's pissing you off on Ridealong Live on a Tuesday. We want to urge you guys, and remember that Cam Jones' program comes up at 8 o'clock, and you guys know the place. We're going to put a link in case you don't know. Check it out. I know Cam would have a whole lot more to say on this. Probably even more animated than he's doing here. You know?
Yo, what I will do, what I will be doing tonight is replaying the Prime Minister's the whole press conference,
right?
Because there are some people who miss it, and I'll replay it, because remember, my program comes, it runs concurrently on radio and social media,
right?
The Facebook, the YouTube. So people who missed it during the day, I will play it back tonight so they can hear it before I start commenting or speaking about it tomorrow, God's willing, and going forward. Because it's so important. I like that they get the facts, that they hear it from him. The information comes from the source, and then we can discuss it.
Right.
Yes, I'll be doing that tonight.
All right, what's pissing people off? I'm seeing here that people are pissed off with the taxi drivers, that they think they own the road. They can't wait in line. A lot of people are pissed off still that they can't watch Intercall on pay-per-view. I mean, they're upset that it's on pay-per-view. I want to ride along to go live, which we will not. Someone said they ain't giving live on Intercall. What's wrong with Ridealong? All right, this one is very serious, and we spoke about it in depth yesterday. The situation involving the young lady, Esther Patterson, the young girl, Esther Patterson, 14-year-old, who was murdered by her stepfather. Yesterday, I got a chance to speak to someone very, very, very close to the investigation, and they said, yes, in fact, that the father did confess. And his confession kind of went something like this, as far as what I heard from someone that is very, very close to the investigation, that he was, something got over him, and he did not, he was like, he couldn't, it was an uncontrolled moment, and he wasn't too sure what got over him and what he did, to the extent of what he did. It was confirmed by, I don't know if the police confirmed it, but based on our investigation, we got information that alleged that it was a rape and strangulation. And again, we were speaking to a very, very close source to this particular investigation. And these type of behaviors, guys, whether he was in a place where he don't know where he was or whatever he say got over him, It is a senseless act. This is a monstrous act. This is something that we cannot condone. This is brutal, and he should face the brunt of the law for taking the life of someone so young, so precious, all her life ahead of her. That's pissing a lot of people off as well. A lot of stuff, guys. We are 20 minutes over time.
And Junior, I think they actually have a candle vigil right now as we speak, because I saw on Facebook a while ago where they were actually, matching with candles in that particular area. The community, they're pulling together,
Absolutely.
With this that occurred or happened in their community. They're pulling together, and because people are really, really, really angry. I tell you this, and saddened, and asking a lot of questions. Right in the neighborhood in Brunswick, in that area there, it's people are asking a lot of questions, and it's just not easy for anybody to just think about it, because remember, it then brings up what took place with young Ariel Bola.
Yeah.
Remember what happened to her?
Yeah.
So people are, it's kind of bringing that back, that same feeling.
Yes.
So we really hope that they can make that one a real example, man. Because these young men, they commit this kind of crime, and 8 years, 9 years, and they out. They're still young, and they take a young life. You see, but it goes back again, right? So it's actually, there's a live thing going on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes back again to the house, the family. Because Junior, I was saying to a friend, you telling me that mother just didn't red flag anything, identify anything whatsoever from her daughter? Some signs, if you're close with your daughter, man, you must know that something ain't right.
Right.
You must. I'm not blaming anyone here, because I'm no judge. But I'm saying that you must sense something ain't right. Even if your daughter ain't tell you anything yet.
Right.
Or is she trying to tell you? You must realize something ain't right. But there are some parents, and I'm not specifically speaking about this one. There are some parents who doing certain things, and the community seeing them doing certain things, and they ain't saying anything. They're accepting money from people. They know that the father or stepfather might be abusing the child. They ain't saying anything. Because you have to ask yourself, how did we get to this, to this point? It's not overnight. This young child was raped, allegedly raped. And it could have been a series of that happening. It didn't just happen to like you reach to that point where this thing took place. No. And we live too close. Neighbor here, neighbor, by the time you look, so you're seeing some neighbor, you look, so you're seeing some neighbor. And I want the government to revise the laws, right? Change the laws so that they can hold the mothers, right, accountable for these crimes too. Where a stepfather is accused of raping that daughter of hers, or where something like that happened, they need to be held accountable too, because many a times they know. I give you a real situation. I was speaking to a young lady, Junior, and she said to me she was raped by the gentleman who was with her aunt, a family member. She was living with them. She was raped. She went and she complained to the aunt or the family member. Well, look, what happened? They beat her. They doubted her. She was raped again. And she complained to another person. And they happened to bring the thing to the court. You know what the family did? They shunned her. They isolated her. They treated her like nothing. Like that. And she was forced to not go to court because they're accusing her of lying, and she this and she that. You're young. And she knew that it was true. And here it is. She didn't go. Pressure. Then the matter was thrown out. It was 3-4 months down the road. She saw the same individual, and he came up to her and say sorry. So I am saying sometimes the family members, sometimes the mothers, just be supporting and aiding and abetting these crimes, and they doubt their children too quickly. Sometimes you have to just listen to them. They will not come to you and tell you that. Few and rare, Junior, a young lady would go to her mother or a friend and lie, like really lie on the stepfather, the father, abusing her, raping her. Very, very, it's hard unless that child is just, you understand the point? Let's say 2% out of 100%.
Right. Yeah.
The majority of times when they come to you and say, this person is, this person rape or harass or sexually this or whatever, or doing this and doing that to them, is because honestly they're doing it to them. Very few times it's not so. So you have to listen to your daughters, listen to your children. And then the teachers must also assist and be investigators too. The teachers must ask certain questions too. Because you see, if teachers, and I'm not blaming anybody here, if teachers are close, and normally teachers are very, very close with the girls in the class, normally, they're going to ask them some questions. They're going to know whether they eat breakfast or whether they didn't. Whether they reach home late or whether their mother and father fight, whether they, you understand the point? They will know. They must know. They must send certain things if you're close with that child. So I am saying we need to see more of that. And, the teachers of old, that is what they were doing, They were like the police in the whole community. They know everything about the child. They know everything about the parents. They coming home. Once they realize something ain't right, we have to see more of that happening, Junior. We have to see more of that happening. And I'm warning some of the parents, if the daughters or your daughters, because look, I have 2 daughters, I have 2 daughters. I think about them every day. If they come to you and they tell you that somebody harassing them or somebody did certain things to them, oh God, listen now. Listen to them. Don't doubt them. The minute time you doubt them, they ain't coming back by you again.
True.
You lose their trust. You lose every single thing. Just give them a listening ear. Let them speak. Let them tell you. Bring them out. Take them out. And let them tell you everything. Right? And then you take it with the police and do what you have to do. Don't shield and safeguard and protect the man because you're with the man and so on. Nah, sir. It's burning me because I have girls. And I know a lot of people with young girls, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, 15 and so on. And you want the best for them. And again, I made a point on my program, Junior. I think I need to make it here. The point of making sure, right, that your girls are comfortable in speaking to you is a very important one. Let them be comfortable in talking to you and telling you certain things, even way before certain things happen.
Yeah.
You need to give them that little moment. Let it tell you everything. Tell all. They could come and tell you like a secret too. I think that's a very, very important thing in any family. Your girl children or your boy children. Be the big brother. Even if you're the father or stepfather, be the big brother. You're the mother, be the big sister. And be there for them always and listen to them. And let them be able to tell you all, man. Don't push them away. That is so, so important. I would really love to see that happening again. And parents, please, when your children come to you and talk to you about these things, listen to them. And don't just say, well, I'm going by the police. No. Be smart. Be smart. You have to go to the police, but be smart. You don't want the husband, you don't want the stepfather to hear certain things. Do your thing and let the police take charge. Let them investigate and let them arrest. Don't shield nobody. Because if you have a nasty man in your house, you would want to shield that person. They will just continue to be nasty in your house and destroy your family and everything like that. And it feels me for this young lady. right? This child, 14 or so. I mean, you hear the stories. She was bright, right? She was very disciplined, very respectful in school and out of school. The people must feel that murder will haunt that community for a while, and I just hope that they get the support that they need to really bounce back. It's tough.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
tough.
Well, we see in the audience there the Minister of Carriacou and Martinic Affairs, Honorable Tevin Andrew. He is one of the persons we see paying tribute to this young and talented 14-year-old. I don't see how anyone could look at a child like that, so precious, have such a bright future ahead of her, and would violate her like that in that kind of way. And what's pissing me off about this whole thing to Kem is that our community always seem to forget. Because a few years ago we was enraged when we heard about the situation with Ariel Bola. It was a time and everybody was like, everybody was on edge about it. The first case came, everybody went up to the court just to get a sight of the nastiness who did that to Ariel Bola. By the time he reached the second and third, it burned down like Baji. Nobody ain't even remembering. By the time it reached a few months later, ask anybody if they know who Ariel Bola is. They forget. So our communities are most times prone to forget. We have a knee-jerk reaction to stuff like that at the moment, but it's not sustained. It is not a conversation in most cases that is sustained, that continues, right? And I think it needs to continue. We need to name and shame and put on blast. This platform was one of the platform who purposely put this guy out there, and we did it before. We sent a lot of people to prison because of this nasty behavior, and we'll continue to do that, right? We need to continue this conversation, and not only when it happens, we we make noise and then we forget. No, we cannot forget. We have to continue. And this is very important to me and the rest of our community. Kem has girl children. I have a young daughter. I have a daughter. I have a son. And I don't want nothing like that happen to anybody that I know. So it's sad, and our condolences to the family, to the friends of this young girl that we've seen. Rest in peace, Esther, as we take in this right here. I think it's a good way to end what's pissing me off, because I think this is pissing off the whole entire nation at the moment. Kem, any last thing you want to say before we wrap?
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Junior, and I am really, really happy to see that the community is pulling together, to see that the Member of Parliament for Carriacou and Martinique is playing a leadership role up there, and the church. I realize that the pastor and others, pastors and others, they're involved in the whole, process of healing in that community. That's a really, really good thing. I want us to be less reactionaries, but be more proactive. I want us to kind of prevent things from happening, or red flag it, or help the police to solve those things, or to prevent it from happening, and not solve, sorry, but to prevent. In other words, we need to become that type of people. You see certain things, boy, for example, you're in a community, somebody with a gun, and you say, but wait, that person ain't a license, call the police. Speak to somebody about it. You see somebody pull a cutlass, go in behind somebody, call the police. Do something like that, I want us to be kind of trying to prevent the thing from happening. Don't wait for it to happen, and everybody start to react and react and react for a period of time, and then the thing just die out. No, it has to be more than that. We have to become more proactive people. You see certain things, please call the police, speak to the police, speak to somebody, so that they can prevent it from, if I'm in my area here, sometimes I see certain people passing, because I have cameras and so on in my place here, and I see certain faces passing the road or passing by my neighbor. I pick it up before I call my neighbor and say, you know that person? You know that person? Not to cause any alarm, but quietly, you know that person? That's how I do it, because I live in a neighborhood with about 4 or 5 houses here. And come on, you see? That is what we need to start to do. We have to try to prevent things from happening, man. It's affecting the entire country. the image of the country.
Absolutely.
Right, right.
Absolutely. Thank you, Kem, for your time. Always
Always
appreciate it, my friend. And I know your program is coming up in 25 minutes or so. Guys, check it out. Search for it, the Transformation Agenda, right here on Facebook, also on YouTube. If you don't have the link, we put a link so you guys could check it out. Kem, thanks again, my brother.
All right, cool.
All right.
Nice.
Guys, I got a few more things that I want to touch on, what's pissing me off, but right now we got to go to commercial break and thank our sponsors who continue to put their money where their mouth is in support of this platform. Guys, we cannot do this without the patronage, the sponsorship of folks like JetBlue and the Tourism Authority here in Grenada. The GTA, they're playing a pivotal role in bringing so much air traffic into Grenada. Big up to the GTA for your great partnership and not only increasing the number of people coming into the island, but it brings good for economic development to Grenada as well. So guys, we got to salute the GTA for doing such an amazing job. And everybody could become an ambassador, you know, because every time you go and you talk to your friends, invite them down to Grenada. Tell them to come and check us out because it's such a beautiful place. And it's very safe. We need to keep pushing it to keep and sustain this type of air traffic we've been seeing. Amazing turnover, amazing full flights, guys. I came down on a flight. There was no big season or nothing like that, and the flight was full to capacity. Continue and let's continue to promote our beautiful island. Also, guys, I was telling you earlier, Ridealong Live is brought to you with the kind compliments of Ride e-bike excursions and tours this Sunday, guys. This Sunday, and I'm gonna give a special discount right now to a rider. This Sunday we go in Rider Falls. Now, if you could ride an e-bike, you need to be a part of the fastest growing excursion company on the island, excursion and rental. Now, we have successfully mapped out the whole entire land, the whole entire country, right? And we are going back to St. Andrew. We're starting by Union Pasture. We go in Post Royal. We go in La Digue. We go in Munich. And we go in a place called Mont Camel. We go into the fall. You're going to get a chance to be a part of this whole exciting opportunity on e-bikes. Guys, book early. Now, if you call within the next 10 minutes, guys, if you call within the next 10 minutes, one lucky rider is going to get $50 off their booking. $50 off their booking, but you have to call within the next 10 minutes. This is the number that you call right now, 473-422-1011. That's the 1011. That's the number. I'll put it up on the screen. You call this number within the next 10 minutes and you get $50 off the excursion ride this Sunday. I know you guys have been watching it every Sunday. This is your opportunity to ride the fall with us. 473-422-1011. That's the number that you call to book for this week excursion. And while you're booking, guys, you want to take advantage of all the amazing things that we have at the at our kiosk located inside the Esplanade Mall. This is it right here. We have the intercall visors. You could get it. And also we have cups, mugs, so much stuff, t-shirts, you name it. It's available inside of the Riders kiosk. Also, guys, we got to say and big up to Geneva's Cottage, located right in Woodlands, right? Folks in Woodlands, or if you've been here already, you know it's a really nice place. Beautiful place. You're close to the airport. You're close to everything. Geneva's Cottage, located right in Woodlands. Check out an Airbnb, and I'm going to post the number where you could contact for booking for this amazing spot where, you know what I mean? Listen, beautiful, beautiful place. Check it out, Geneva's Cottage. We got a commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Development Authority of Grenada, PDA, is enforcing regulations to curb illegal, disorderly, and unauthorized development in several locations throughout the state of Grenada. The authority is concerned that structures mainly associated with vending are negatively impacting the environment, has undesirable public health and sanitation consequences, present obstructions to vehicle and pedestrian traffic, can become projectiles during adverse weather conditions, and generally affect the aesthetics of the nation. The PDA will work along with stakeholder ministries and institutions to effect the demolition, removal, and disposal of structures which fall in the category of illegal and disorderly development, commencing January 2024. In this regard, persons who vend in or occupy such illegal structures are advised to secure their personal belongings and have the structures removed ahead of the planned PDA demolition operations. These actions of the PDA have become necessary to safeguard and protect public health and the environment, ensure the safety and well-being of all citizens and visitors, discourage any future disorderly construction, and encourage compliance to regulations pertaining to physical development in the state of Grenada. This is a message from the Planning and Development Authority of Grenada.
I want you folks to play these 3 games from the NLA. Daily pick 3 cash flow and play with. You will be supporting sports and culture, nation building and our future. So go out and play, folks, make it a must. You will see what the National Lottery is doing for us. When you play pick 3 cash flow and play with, the NLA will support you all the way.
Starting September 30th, Monday to Friday, these 3 games will be drawn mid-morning, 9:45 a.m., midday, 12:45 p.m., and evenings, 7:45 p.m. The National Lotteries, supporting sports, culture, and nation building.
Sunday money.
Ridealong Live is also brought to you by this, the 10,000 big money bingo that's happening in New York. You could also play online. 473 Promotion, 473 Entertainment, and Rampoon Radio invite you. Listen, the first game is at 6 p.m. And tickets only $50. Get your ticket now. Get your ticket now. In fact, listen to this voice. All right, I'll send the, I'll put the ad up because I realize you guys not hearing it. Anyway, guys, it's a big money bingo. 473 Global Entertainment Inc. and Rampoon Radio presents this big $10,000 big money bingo. For more information, you want tickets, you can contact Mr. Lion right now. Don't stick. Call him now. Blow up your phone. Tell him you just heard the ad. 718-593-7692. Call Mr. Lion right now. Live performance by Madman Zingo. Guys, you want to win some big money in New York City? Call this number right now. 473 Promotion, 473 Entertainment Inc. and Rampoon Radio. $10,000 big money bingo. New York City, it end good again.
The privilege of sampling the Golden Jubilee edition of the limited edition spice rum from the Grenada distillers, and I must say it's something that you should try. It is authentically Grenadian, but from the flavors to the aromas to the overall taste, the blend is great. It's light, it's golden like the Golden Jubilee, and I think you can make any collector's shelves anywhere in the world. Hats off to the Grenada distillers.
Yeah. Guys, we all telling you again about the ride excursion rental and tours. Things get torn up. You could rent your bike inside the Esplanade Mall right now. Guys, and also, let me say, if you have a business and you want to advertise inside the Esplanade Mall on our big screen, give us a call. Listen, rates are low, the reach is far, and it's great opportunity for a whole heap of foot traffic that walk through that mall on a daily basis. Give us a call right now to advertise or to ride with us, rent a bike with us. It's Ride Excursion, Rentals, and Tours inside the Esplanade Mall. You can't be a rider and you don't ride. You can't be a rider and you don't ride. So if you want to ride, if you're a rider, then you got to jump on one of these bikes. Riders Excursion, Rentals, and Tours.
For an exhilarating adventure, then look no further than Ride Excursions and Tours. Get ready to explore the great outdoors like never before with our powerful e-bikes. Discover breathtaking sightseeing tours around the island. Feel the wind in your hair and experience nature in its purest form. Now, whether you're a seasoned rider or a beginner, our e-bikes are perfect for everyone. Call us at 473-422-1011 to book your excursion or visit ridersebikes.com. That's ridersebike.com to reserve your spot. Unleash your adventurous spirit with ride excursions and tours, where every journey becomes an unforgettable adventure.
Yeah. Also, guys, I remind you that you could get your visor, Intercall visor, at the kiosk. Check us back at the kiosk tomorrow. Before you go to Intercall, before you head off to Intercall, you come inside the Esplanade Mall and get one of those visor, shade you from the sun and support the school. So far, all we have left, guys, is SAS and SJCSS, and that's St. Joseph Convent, St. John's Catholic, St. John's SJCSS secondary school. All right, SJCSS. Pardon, sorry. Intercall 2024 in full effect. St. John Christian Secondary School, sorry, my bad. St. John Christian Secondary School and SAS. Thank you. Intercall continues tomorrow. We will not be bringing it live because it's a pay-per-view event. Okay?
Us and reach millions daily, weekly, monthly. Yeah, over 10 million per month. It pays to advertise with us. Reach more and let us send your business viral. Advertise with us and reach more.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for being a part of our program. Let me tell you guys, it's better to take your anger and your rage and your frustration and go in a corner and scream, right? Than you take that couple minutes or seconds that you have that rage and anger and take it out on someone. Because let me show you a quick synopsis, guys. So think about a Coke or a Sprite or any one of those carbonated drinks that you buy in the store, right? Think about it. If you take this carbonated drinks and you shake it up, like you shake it for a good couple seconds. When you feel those drinks, when you feel it, after you shake it up, hard like a rock because it's angry. Listen, if after you shake this carbonated drinks, you quickly open the cap, what's gonna happen? You know what's gonna happen, right? You've seen it all the time. It bursts up and it starts to spray all over the place because it's angry, it's frustrated. It just wants to bust open the bottle, right? It's angry. That is you when you're angry. You're angry, you're frustrated. But if you take this drink and you lay it in a corner for 2-3 minutes, you just sit there for 2-3 minutes and you leave and you walk away for a little bit. After you shake it up, after you agitate it, and you come back and you try opening it, it's not as angry and frustrated as it once was. So this is exactly what happened with us. We angry and frustrated in the moment, but if you just take a little couple minutes and calm yourself, cool yourself, get a little time to think, go in a corner and scream, right? And come back. And you'll see that you think far different than you were thinking 5 minutes ago. And that couple seconds of time that you just want to burst and do whatever is the time that you could lose your whole life, whether physically lose your life or spending the rest of your life behind bars for a bad decision that you made within a couple seconds. So I say all of this to say, guys, we all get angry, we all get upset, people agitate us. We all feel like we should get back at someone because they made us angry, they made us sad. But think about it. Do you want to spend the rest of your regular life behind bars, just looking at gates, just opening and closing, most time closing in front of you. We need to do better. And for the people who have platforms and that could speak positive words into persons who sometimes are depressed or sometimes just need upliftment, and you choose not to do that, you are basically, I believe, you are walking away from one of your responsibility. Every morning I get up, and you guys are could give testimony to this. The first thing that I do before I post anything about a promotion or a ride or whatever is I give a word of inspiration. You would see it every morning, right, on this platform, a word of inspiration. Because I understand that when some people get up, they may not be bright eye and bushy tail like you might be. Some people are depressed and they're going through things, and just one word might change the whole trajectory for that day. Just one comment, just one positive inspiration might just change the whole outlook. They might be in the middle of doing something and they might just see something that tell them you are better than that. So that's why I do what I do. That's why I'm on this platform here. That's why I dedicate and I continue to dedicate. I dedicated and continue to dedicate this big chunk of my life by being in media. Because I think here is where I can make the biggest difference. Because we reach so many people in Africa, in Barbados, in Trinidad, in Jamaica, in Grenada, Guyana, you name it, St. Lucia, Carriacou, Petit Martinique, all over the world, all over the Caribbean. And I think that I can make that impact here. And you probably don't have a platform like this, but you could make a difference as well in your community, as small as it is, in your circle of friends. You could speak inspirational words into people. You don't have to have a platform with 1,000 people watching. You start with 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 on community. Speak positivity. If you see something, someone have a firearm, report it, because what good they could do with a firearm? While they're going hunting, Manikou hunting, you go shoot a Manikou with a shotgun, right? No. The reason for a firearm, and I believe the reason for those firearms, why those firearms was made, is to kill people, point blank period. So if someone have a firearm that's unlicensed and recklessly in their possession, the ultimate goal is to kill somebody that probably harassed them. And the Prime Minister said it right earlier today. A person with a firearm is a different person without a firearm. Someone without a firearm in their possession, they're better able to reason. They're better able to calm a situation. The minute time somebody feel like they have a firearm, they feel like they become powerful, more powerful, most powerful. And they become so agitated in many, many instances. The minute time something upset them, they don't even fight. They don't even want to hear. They feel like they're so powerful. They reach. And the intention of a firearm is to kill. But what good would it cause if you walk through a public place like what happened in the market, and you just start shooting? You don't know, your mother could be walking because she's shopping in the market, or your sister could be shopping by LA Purcell, or just coming out of the bank, and you're not thinking rational, right? You're not thinking rational. Even if you feel like society have failed you, even if you feel like you have nothing to live for, but it's irresponsible. It's because a bullet doesn't have an eye. You don't find the person that you actually intend to shoot and go and find them. It's just so random. So I'm calling on young people. I am begging, I am pleading to the young people that is involved in violent acts and crime. I see a lot of them sometimes. I don't know that they are involved in violent acts and crime. They come to me, they speak to me, they give me a bounce. A lot of them watch this program, probably a lot of them watching this program as we speak. Probably a lot of them are tuned in right now. They have certain level of respect for me. They don't disrespect me. In a lot of instances, they come and they speak to me, right? I'm speaking to you right now. If you are involved in violent activities, if you are dedicating your life to a if dedicating the rest of your life to a life of badmanship, if that's a term, it would only land you two places, my friend. It would land you in jail or you go end up dead. And then your mother, your family, your parents, your sisters, your brothers, all who have high hope and may look to you for assistance, you won't be there to do anything for them. All you go hear is shackles and chains. It's not a right way to live. So if you have or thinking of having firearm in your possession, not a right choice, not a good thing. You could only end up dead or behind bars. Please, when and if there is an amnesty, turn it in, because it's not going to end well, right? It's not going to end well. Calling on the brothers, calling on the fellas, calling on the friends of the people who know of people carrying around firearms in parties and going to school with a kind of long altered cutlass and all of these type of things. It's not going to end well, right? Think before you act. This senseless act of violence, you're only bringing down your community further and negatively affecting everything that your parents may stand for. Do the right thing, guys. All right? Do the right thing. Do the right thing. And I'm still looking for young men who want to work, who want to earn an honest living. I'm still looking for folks that we could train as tour guides. We're looking for you. We want to give you employment. We want to train you. So if you're out there and you want to change around your life, get around people, positive trajectory on life, people who go in somewhere, right? And think about it. The person that you may follow in, is he going somewhere other than the grave or the jail or the hospital? If he ain't going, if he going in them places, you don't want to follow him there. Nobody want to go to the grave, nobody want to go to the jail, and nobody don't want to end up in the hospital. Follow people who are going places positively in life. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for being a part of our program. We appreciate you for sharing and even listening. On behalf of all of our production crew here at Ridealong Live, Senior Executive Producer Lois JJ, Kibbs, Gail, rest of the team, we say thank you so much. Catch you guys again tomorrow. Good night.
Ridealong Live.
Initially said that you thought the Supreme Court would have a difficult time. Your quote that I looked up today was avoiding the consequence of the plain language of the 14th Amendment. It was obviously a 9-0 call today. So I wonder, what you made of this ruling and if you feel differently now.
But I'm certainly not here to talk about the 14th Amendment, the U.S. Constitution, the Supreme Court, Donald Trump, nothing like that. In fact, I'm more interested in finding out what's happening in the Caribbean. I'm more interested in telling you what's happening in the Caribbean. In fact, I want to invite you to Grenada. And when you get there, you have to be a part of the Riders e-bike excursions and tours. Now, every Sunday, we take you out on a trail inside of Grenada. Best opportunity to see the interior of the island. But if you don't want to get that adventurous and you want to go on your own thing, you could walk into the Esplanade Mall, nice mall, as soon as you get off the cruise ship in St. George, and rent an e-bike. And you could ride around the tongue of St. George for the entire day. Low price, great price, excellent fare. Now, this is more important than any 14th Amendment, guys. I'm telling you, When you come to Grenada, you check out Riders E-Bike Excursions and Tours. Yeah, Riders E-Bike Excursions and Tours. Even if you stayed in the hotel, yeah, we'll get you your e-bike so you can go to the beach or night out, whatever it is. Check us out inside the Esplanade Mall. You could even call us at 473-422-1011. That's 473-422-1011. Riders E-Bike Excursions and Tours. Get with the program. 14th Amendment, Donald Trump. I just don't want to talk about that.
Everybody got the gloves? Right.